Hi everyone. Today we are just talking about the database management system in SQL. So for that purpose, we are going to use that DDL operation, definition language. I'm just sharing off my screen, entire screen. It's going to first we need to open SQL Server Management Studio. You have to click on connect. First we need to open query editor. Either you can press the shortcut Control N. So the query editor open. The first command we are using, create database. Create database name. So we can select and execute. So there is a command completed successfully. The second command, we are using database what we created. So use students what we already created. So if you want to check whether the database is created or not, if there are two points to check. The first one, command completed successfully. It's a confirmation by system. The second one, you can check in the Object Explorer. You can expand the database folder. There is a one database name. It's called students. So semicolon is optional. So we are just entering into the students database. Even we entered in command completed successfully. And we also check in the type above. Earlier it is only the master, but today this time we are in the database of students. The third one we are going to be change that, rename the database, rename the database. So the database is alter. So SQL Server is not a case sensitive. You can use any lower or a capital letters. It's no problem. It will take alter database. The whole database name students and modify name is equal to new database name is sales. So just semicolon is optional for every time. So we can select and execute. When you are executing, it takes time. So the database students could not be exclusively locked to perform the operations. So if we got the error, we just go to the database and select in the Object Explorer and go to the properties of database and go to that options, and you can scroll down to the last. So there is a restrict access for multiple users. You have to change that setting, restricted user to the single user. You just okay. So you will find that there is a suggestion or open connection confirmation. So yes, I just mentioned the yes. And if you execute now, it will be by default, it will execute. So the database name sales has been set. If you want, you can just click on that refresh button. Either you go with the disconnect and connect, and you can just connect again and go to that verification in the database folder. You will find that there is a column which is mentioned of sales. Just go to that. Next one, I'm going to talk about drop database base. Drop database, the syntax is for drop database name is now it is a sales. So semicolon is optional. Now we are selecting enter the command and execute it. There is a not possible because there is an error came. So cannot drop database sales because it is currently in use. You have to outcome from that database. Then only it is possible to delete it. So just use master. Master is the software's database. Now we are using that purpose. So we exit from the sales database. Now we are just going to be executing the uh, drop database. So the database student doesn't exit. Make sure that name is entered correctly. Yes, sales drop database student. It's not students. Now we are moving to that drop database. So the command completed successfully. Now we are just going to be connect disconnecting and connecting again to updation of the databases programs. Okay, up to so far we just completed four commands. The first one is create database, second one user database, third one rename database, and last finally we drop the database. Now we are going to be just creating of the database name because we need to execute the rest of the operations also. So now we are going to be use the database. Now we have the database name we called as a students in the database for object in the object explorer. So the next one we need to go for that create a table in the database. So create a table. So for that purpose we have a syntax is create table name. We are just talking about the sales students, right? So students list std list underscore list. I just mentioned a list. So you can write the multiple lines, even it's possible, either single line also sufficient to execute your command or creating of your command. Now I am going to be talk about the first bracket open and first column student ID. I just mentioned. So ID in the integer and just close that comma and followed by second column std underscore name, and it is name comes from varchar or character varchar followed by size. I just giving a maximum size of 255 and close that bracket, and I just move to that next one mobile. Mobile is also an integer part. Now I'm moving to the address. So addresses comes here varchar and 255 is the final maximum. So it's combination of multiple. So that is the reason I just closing the bracket, and I just if you want to see the clarity, you just open that. So where I started the bracket at here, I closed the bracket at here, and semicolon is optional. Rest of all are each column. So each column is separated by comma. Okay. So you just select and execute the command completed successfully. Whether it is created or not, you just go to that first refresh the database in the Object Explorer and go to that student table, student database, and under the table folder, you will find that student list. There is a separate file is there. Now we are moving to the sixth one, rename the table. So the rename the table, just I just want to go for uh, rename. Rename table. For making the rename table, you just use that exec stored procedures underscore rename. So it's already available in the software. You just use it and just write down the old table name std underscore list. Close that semicolon and comma. So you just enter the just list. Here the semicolon is optional. Just yeah. exec is execute, sp is the stored procedures which is already available in this software. Now I am selecting entire the code. So here it is the two levels. The first one is a old table name and I mentioned in the new table name. So selecting off entire the command and execute on X and the changing has been updated. Now we can refresh it. Either you can disconnect and connect again to find the modification. Just go to the student and you will find that under the table there is a column is a list only. So rename has executed successfully. Now we are moving to that one more, that is add column, add a column to existing table. So for that purpose, we need to use alter table, table name is a list and add column. At column name is email. I just mentioning of add email, email. It's under email is the combination of plenty data types. Just I'm mentioning of varchars with size of 255 and close that bracket and just go to that semicolon colon is an optional. So I just selecting entire the code and executed. The command is completed successfully. We have to see that whether that executed or not. We have to use the select command, which is all the next DML commands. But for the purpose of checking only, I'm just seeing that there is you just note down select star, star from table name. So you just go to that. So if you see that there is a student ID is there, student name, mobile address, and now we created the email. Now the next command we are moving to that is modify an existing column. So that is again we are using alter table name is list and column and column name is cell mobile cell and data type is varchar. No, it's an integer. So close the semicolon. So alter column name. See this, I just mentioning of execute. So alter table, alter column is failed because the column cell doesn't exist in the table name. Okay, I just want to change that mobile, right? I hope it's a mobile. Yes, sorry. Uh, yes, it's the data type is changed. Okay, so the data type, if you want to check the data size, yes, you just go disconnect and connect again. So go to the database, go to that, your database name is students and table. There is a list table is there and you go to that column. So in ID, where that means integer and name is varchar, mobile is integer. So even address is character. So email is varchar. If you want to change the mobile number, mobile generally an integer. If you want to change that, you can go with varchar also. Even you can go with the 255, the size. Just go to that and select it and execute. Just refresh it. You will got that disconnect and connect. So again, you will find that there is a database. In the student database, tables of under list. You will get the columns. There is a mobile mentioning that there is a see this is the varchar. Earlier it was only integer, but it is a varchar. So let's go to that next command. rename a column, rename a column. So for that purpose, we are using exec stored procedures underscore rename. So it's already available. And so the table name we call it as list. Table name dot what we want to change. Mobile. Mobile. And close the semicolon and comma. Open that. So new column name, that is cell. I just mentioning cell. Close that, and the semicolon is optional. See this is the simple expression. Execute is a command. Execute. So it's an order. Execute your stored procedures, what you already stored. So you have to change that under the list table. There is a column of mobile to cell. I just go to that. So now it has been changed. See this, there is, I'm not refreshing the, in the object explorer, you have to see that there is a mobile column is there. So I just want to, after the clicking of my refreshing button, see this, just connecting and disconnecting and connecting. See this, and under the object explorer, there is a database and students. There is a table of list, and I'm just mentioning expand of columns. See this, there is a changing of from mobile to cell. Now I'm going to be drop column. So this is the last one. Drop column. See this, this command is alter, again using alter table name. Table name is list, and drop column, and column name is column name, what column, which column I'm going to be. So I'm just going to be drop the email. So semicolon is optional. I just selecting and execute. So the command completed successfully. If you want to see that, you just go to that refreshing. Other you have to wait some time. Either you can go to disconnect and connect. So you will connect once again, and you have to check whether in the object explorer, that is the tables, under the table there is a list of, and you can see that there is only 4 columns are there. Earlier it is 5 column, but this is the 4 column. So if you want, go one more command, that is drop table. So drop table, we just go to that syntax of truncate table name. Yeah, truncate table name is a list. I just want to go for semicolon. It's an optional, semicolon is an optional. So execute. So there is no, so you just go to the disconnect and connect again. So you'll see that what is the updations that happened in the students. So there is a table, but there is no columns in this area. So if you want to see this, just go to that. In the truncate, actually we don't have a records. The truncate purpose is to empty that table, but the table structure is the same. Actually, if we have the table records, then you will find the neat observations here. See that select star from table name. So you just see this. So there is a columns are available, but there is no rows here. So now we are just going to the last one. So we completely deleting off the table from the database. Drop complete table from the database. You just drop, use the drop table name. drop table name is the list I just mentioned. So in truncate, you find the table structure and table name from the object explorer, but the drop command, you can't find the even table name also. So execute, there is execution is happened. So I just want to go for expansion of student table, and there is no table here. If you see that I'm exposing in the table. Okay. So I hope you understand well about the data definition language. Thank you.